Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 21st August 2022. So first of all, happy Sunday for all of you. And now let us try to see today's quote. So today's quote is regarding women empowerment. So this women empowerment is one of the important topic, and I can say it is a favorite topic of UPSC. So this quote, which is given by Yusuf Malala, and she says that we realize the importance of our voice, that is women's voice, when we are silenced. So when we are silenced, then especially men, they will realize the importance of women. So now let us try to see first article. Actually, the Sunday's newspaper is important to cover environment and ecology point of view, and even your science and technology point of view. And you can see this index. So how many topics we are going to discuss from environment and ecology, and as well as from your science and technology. So please don't skip this Sunday's newspaper. It is my request. So now let us try to see first topic. So this topic, which is talking about warning labels. I think you might have purchased a number of chips packets that are available in the market, and even when you are studying in your PGs and hostels, yes, you will be keeping a chips packet beside you and you will start reading, right? So whenever you are eating in between, that will boost your energy and that will be helpful for the study for the long hours. So I do know that. So what happened? So I want to ask you one question. So whether you are taking any chips packet, have you opened the nutritional value chart or ingredients chart or any warning label? So have you observed it till now? Yes. So if you see, there will be some warning labels on some food packets. It talks about identifying of harmful nutrients that are present. For example, some people, they will be like allergy to, for example, you can talk about food items, for example peanuts especially. Some people, they will be having allergy regarding the soybeans, and also some people, they will be having allergy regarding this brinjal also. So in the why we need to go for seeing this warning label. So if you are a particular person who is having allergy to particular so and so allergen, means, so if you are consuming that will have some impacts on your health, that will have some impact on your preparation, right? So here looking at this warning label is very important. So warning label most effective in identifying harmful nutrients. So this is one recent study which said. So this article is important from your GS paper to under health point of view. Okay, so now let us try to understand this topic. So a new study in India which found that importance of warning labels. So warning labels on food packets, they are most effective. So these are very much helping the consumers to identify foods which are having high sugar level, high saturated fat, and as well as sodium. So especially the people who are suffering with this hypertension, so they should not take a high amount of sodium, okay, or salt. So for them, this warning label is very important as compared to that of other labeling formats. So than compared to that of other labeling formats, so whenever there is any warning label, so that is having higher impact on the people. So these are some examples of this warning. Okay, so these are warning labels. So allergy advice. So this product contains peanuts and may contain trace of some other nuts and seeds. So if you are having allergy to this nuts, so you should not take this. And here also you can see one more warning label, that is, so this food contains, this food product contains ingredients and or chemicals that may cause cancer, that may cause obesity, heart disease, diabetes, respiratory problems, thyroid problems, and other diet related diseases. So if you are seeing this type of warning labels, yes, you will not purchase that, right? So if you are health conscious, so these warning labels are very important. And there is one exception I can say here is, so if you are purchasing a cigarette packet, so on that cigarette packet you can see different images of throat cancer, lung cancer, even though some people who are smokers, they are taking that. So don't ask about this exception in the comment box, okay? It's an extremely exceptional category. So now let us try to see some details. So if you see details which are given in this article, it says that. So here the report, okay, so one study which mainly studied about this importance of this labels on this food packets. and this results of this report published in open journal. Okay, so it talks about nutrients. Earlier this month, the study is the first peer reviewed paper on subject in Indian context. So in Indian context, so we came up with this type of study for the first time. So it is the first peer reviewed paper. Okay, and the results published in journal. So this study which found that most of parameters, for example, we can also see some health rating, health star rating. So if you are purchasing any electronic items, for example, fridge, for example, fans, etc. Now we are talking about the star rating, right? It is based on electricity efficiency. So in the same way here on the food products also we will be having health star rating format for some food packaging. So where a product is assigned between half a star and 5 star. But this health star rating on this food items, it is very much less effective. And if you're talking about according to this FSSAI report, so authors conducted a person randomized experiment on 2,869 adults in the 6 states in India. And the participants, they were shown food packets with 1 of 5 star, okay, star labeling, okay, and they also came up with some control label barcode and nutrient specific warning label, and they also came with health star rating and guide for daily amount or traffic light labels, that is indicating red color, amber color or green color levels of nutrients of concern. So these are some important methods they mainly used, okay, and the important objective of this study, it is to evaluate what is the impact of different labels, okay, whether they are helping the consumers regarding the knowing of whatever the nutrients that are present in that so and so food package or food items, okay, for example sugar, saturated fat, sodium, etc. So what is the result? In this study they found that especially control label, the most number of participants, they were able to identify nutrient of concern when they were presented with a packet with a warning label. So whenever they are having a warning label, yes, they or the consumers, they come to know about the nutrition facts. Unless and until if there is no warning label, they are not at all interested to see what are the ingredients that are present in that so and so food packaging. Okay, and here by using this warning label, 60.8% of people, they recognized harmful nutrients that are present in that so and so food packaging. And through this DDA label, they will be knowing about just 55%, and traffic light label, that is through red color label or amber color label or green color label, so they know just 54.8%. So health star rating, it is one of the performing worst, okay, with only 45% of being able to recognize the 3 nutrients of concern. Okay, so this is about this topic, and I hope whenever you are purchasing any food packet, try to see these warning labels before consuming it. That will be helpful for your health, and also that will be helpful for your health as well, your health and also your preparation. So now let us try to see next topic. So this topic is about 21 killed in Himachal rain havoc. So this article which is talking about cloudburst and landslides, okay, flash floods. So these are 3 important topics which are related to our geography. So now let's try to understand these concepts. And this topic is important from your GS paper 1 under geography, and this topic is important from both your pre and as well as your mains. So now let's try to see why it is in news. At least 25 people, they were killed as torrential rainfall that triggered flash floods and landslip in this hilly state, that is Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So in this Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, so there is extreme heavy rainfall that led to flash floods and as well as landslip or landslide. So if we're talking about some details, it mainly says that several roads, they were blocked by the debris. For example, if there is any hill which is present here and here we have a road or cart road. So because of this heavy rainfall, what are the soil that is present in this area, that will be get saturated with the rainwater and that will come down. Okay, so this is one important effect of heavy rainfall or cloudburst. So what happened whenever this mud which is mainly coming and which is deposited on this road, that will lead to blocking of roads. Okay, and whenever if there is any river, for example, if there is any river which is present So whenever there is landslide which has happened in this area, and that led to clogging or blocking of the way of the river, means that will lead to formation of artificial dam. Okay, so here these are some impacts of this torrential rain or heavy rainfall. And Himachal Pradesh, which mainly seen like 21 people they were killed and 12 people they are having sustained injuries, and 34 incidents of landslips and flash floods and cloudbursts are seen in this state of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So now we need to know about what is this cloudburst, what is this landslip, and what is this flash flood. So first let us try to see about this cloudburst. So here you have to know about what is the meaning of cloudburst and how it is different from the rainfall. So many students they will have a confusion regarding, so rainfall it is called as a cloudburst or not. Okay, so what happened, I will give you a small example to understand this. What is this cloudburst? For example, if you are having your bath in your bathroom under a shower, so when you on the shower, what happened, the water will becomes as a small droplets like thing. But what happened if that shower failed? So if suddenly that shower cap which mainly comes out, means what happened, suddenly water will come. Okay, so whenever you're doing your bath under the shower, that is like rainfall. And once when there is anything which wrong happened in that shower and suddenly water will comes out from that pipe, that is called as a cloudburst. So this is a difference between this rainfall and cloudburst. I hope you understand this. So here if you see this image on the screen, then you can see there is a thick cloud which is present, and you can see the rainfall which is happening in just a small area, but it is a very heavy. So one more thing I can say here is, if you are taking a balloon and you are filling the balloon with water, and suddenly if you pierce that balloon by taking a pin, means what happens, suddenly water will comes out of that balloon. So that is an example of cloudburst. I hope you understand this, right? So if you're talking about what is this cloudburst exactly, so cloudburst, it is nothing but for a short duration. So there is a very intense heavy rainfall events that occur over a small area, that is called as cloudburst. And this cloudburst, it is a weather phenomena with unexpected precipitation exceeding 100 mm per hour over a geographical region of approximately 20 to 30 square kilometers. So within a small geographical area, so there is a heavy intense rainfall which is of exceeding 100 mm per hour. So this is called as a cloudburst. So cloudburst, how it is different from the rainfall? So to understand this, we need to understand how the precipitation happens. For example, there is a water body. So whenever there is high temperature, so this water will get evaporated, and this vapor form of this water and warm air, they will tend to move up ascending of winds. So whenever they are reaching certain height, so as you all know, in this troposphere there is decreasing of temperature with increasing of height, right? So here what happened, so after reaching this tropopause, there will be the decreasing of temperature and the condensation of this vapor happens, and after the condensation of this water, that will lead to the rainfall or precipitation. So whenever the rain which is heavier and it is over 100 mm per hour, it is categorized as cloudburst. And this cloudburst, it is also a natural phenomena like this rainfall. Okay, but it occurs quite unexpectedly. So if you want to forecast this cloudburst, it is very difficult. And if you want to go for forecasting of this cloudburst for sure, means you need to have fine radars that will be very much expensive. And if you're talking about what are the consequences of cloudburst, what will be happen with this cloudburst, so we can see mass movements like landslides, mudslide, landslips, etc., avalanches. And next one here is mud flows will be happening. So mud flows means whatever the mud which is present on that's the slope of the hills, that will be get saturated, and because of this water they will be becoming slippy and they will comes. And mud flows are commonly seen in this monsoon season in this Kerala region. And this one is land cavings and as well as landslides. So these are some important consequences of cloudburst. And next here we are going to discuss about this flash floods. So flash floods means nothing but whenever there is a heavy intense rainfall that led to the sudden surge in the water levels, generally due to this intense spell of rain. And they are highly localized events of short duration. And here we can see this flash floods which mainly happens in less than 6 hours between the occurrence of the rain and as well as peak flood. So it will be just take 6 hours of time. Okay. And if you're talking about landslide, landslide means nothing but whenever there is a movement of rock or any debris, okay, or earth down the slope. So whenever there is a slope, so from this slope, whenever these rocks are coming down and falling down the air, falling on the down. And next one here is whenever there is any debris on any earth, okay, which is coming down from the slope, that movement is called as a landslide. So there are different types of the mass wasting, for example. So for example, you can talk about falls, topples, slides, spreads and flows, etc. So this is the image. So if you see this is the slope here, and from here the rocks are coming and falling down along this slope. That is called as landslide. And next topic is regarding one recent study which talks about natural disasters in this Himachal Pradesh. So if you are from Himachal Pradesh, so let me know how many of you are from Himachal Pradesh. So if you are from Himachal Pradesh, yes, your state which is in danger. So Himachal prone to natural disasters says a study. So this article is important from your environment and ecology, which comes under your GS paper 3. And this topic is important from your both mains and prelims. So from mains, you can use the data that we are going to discuss now. So if we are talking about context, why it is in news. So recently here Himachal Pradesh. So it is one of the hilly state that I can say. So it is present in this Himalayas, right? So in this Himalayas, we can see this Himachal Pradesh is present, and because of this geographical location of this Himachal Pradesh, so we are experiencing some landslips, landslides, cloudburst, flash floods, avalanches, droughts that are seen here. So these in this way here, this report, okay, state of environment report says that this Himachal Pradesh, which is very much vulnerable to the natural hazards. So if you're talking about some details, it says that, so this report released by Department of Environment, Science and Technology, and this report points that, so these mountainous areas are very much vulnerable to natural disasters, and here where the development over the years, they have compounded the problem by upsetting the ecological balances of various physical processes. So what happened? So this report which released by Department of Environment and Science and Technology. So here this report which point out that, so this mountainous areas are very much vulnerable to this natural disasters. And what are the development that we are going from the last several years or last few decades in this Himachal Pradesh? It is also one important reason for the increasing of susceptibility to this natural disaster in this area. And this report says that whenever we are going for these developmental projects, so they are mainly showing some increased pressure on the mountain environment, and it has contributed in some measures to environmental problems such as landslips, land subsidence and removal of vegetation, soil erosion. Okay, so because of increased pressure on this mountainous environment, okay, that will lead to some environmental disasters like landslips, subsidence, and whenever we are going for removal of the vegetation and the soil erosion, there are also some important reasons that are increasing the pressure on this mountain environment. So according to one estimate which says that about 58.36% of land is subjected to intense soil erosion in that area. So much of which is located in the Himalayas, the Himachal Pradesh, which forms part of Western Himalayas, and they are environmentally fragile and as well as ecologically vulnerable regions. So as you all know that, so this Himalayas, they are active now, okay, and we can say they are not much as old as this Aravalli ranges. So Aravalli ranges, they are the oldest folded mountains in India, but this Himalayas, they are the early we can say young folded mountains, and they are still active now. So the size of this Himalayas are nowadays it is also increasing, okay, so the size of this Himalayas is increasing, so that why we cannot say that they are stable, okay, they are unstable and they are more susceptible to this landslides, okay, etc. So here according to one estimate which says that about 58.3% of land is subjected to intense soil erosion, and here Himachal Pradesh, which forms one of the western Himalayan country, Himalayan state here, okay, and it is also economically fragile. So environment is a very delicate, very sensitive here, and it is also ecologically vulnerable area. So we're talking about the fragile economy or ecology of this Himachal Pradesh. So this fragile ecology of this mountainous state, that is Himachal Pradesh, so this fragile economy is also coupled with the large variations in this physio-climatic conditions. Okay, so in this way it mainly rendered it vulnerable to the vagaries of the nature. And if you are talking about what are the effects taken by the government, yes, government is taking some continuous efforts mainly to control or to prevent these natural hazards. For example, they are coming up with relief, they are coming up with rehabilitation measures, and they are coming up with how to prevent these landslides, snow avalanches, etc. here, because they are mainly causing some harm to the human life and as well as property of the people. And if you're talking about the roads that are the state's lifeline, they are reportedly damaged and as well as blocked and washed away because of this acts of the nature, for example landslides, landslips, avalanches, etc. Okay, so if you're talking about this Himachal Pradesh, it is vulnerable to 25 out of 33 types of hazards. Okay, so Himachal Pradesh is vulnerable to 25 out of 33 types of hazards, and they are identified by Government of India. So moreover, the state also confronting the emerging threats of climate change and human-wild conflict. So whenever there is degradation of this habitat of these wild animals, yes, they will come into the habitats of human, and that will lead to this human-wildlife conflict. So if let us try to think that if you are the district magistrate of that so and so area, and these are some problems that you are seeing in this Himachal Pradesh, so what are the steps that you are going to take to save your state? Okay, for example, to save your district. So what are the steps that you are going to take? It is your responsibility as DM, right? So let me know your opinion in the comment box. And now let us try to see the next topic. It is regarding improving rice yield with an additional gene. So this article is talking about gene modulation but not genetically modified. So this article is important from your science and technology, which comes under your GS paper 3. And now let us try to see this topic in detail. So why this article is in news? So already you know that we faced food insecurity during this 1960s. Okay, that time one instance which was very much famous, that is ship to mouth incident. So we used to get grade 2, grade 3 food grains from this America as aid, and whenever the ship which is coming to the port, so from the port directly, so this food grains are distributed to the people, but not they even taken to the godowns. So there is nothing much time that is left with the government authorities to take those grains to the godowns and to distribute in from the godowns. So from the ship itself, so there was supply of this food grains to the people that happened. So from that time onwards, yes, we focused on this food security, and we came with a number of measures regarding this agriculture production. For example, in 1960s, we came up with this green revolution. Yes, through this green revolution, yes, we increased our agriculture produce. For example, rice and as well as wheat. Okay, so there was improvement in the yield of agricultural crops like rice and wheat that mainly sent. Okay, so because of this, we mainly ensured the food security in the country. So through this green revolution, we focused on high yield variety crops, and we focused on increasing of irrigation facilities and as well as chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, that too we came with this green revolution in this Punjab, Haryana and Western UP region. So what are the benefits of this green revolution? Yes, we ensure food security, and we have high yield of productivity, that is the increased productivity. And it's one here is that also led to poverty alleviation, and that also led to increasing of employment. Okay, employment generation in this agriculture sector, and as well as the production has been doubled. So these were the advantages of this green revolution in our country. So if we're talking about what are the impacts of this green revolution, so it is having some impact on environment, it has some impact on the food security and as well as socio-economic impact. So here this article says that now 50 years later, we are seeing some negative effects of this intense methodology of this green revolution, because we started using this artificial fertilizers, right? There is increased use of this nitrogen fertilizers and also agrochemicals that are having some environmental hazards, and water is often short supply, but these rice, it is a water intensive crop. And this one here is to obtain more food for the world's growing population. So forests and grasslands, they had been cleared and they are converting into the agriculture areas. Okay, so because of this, that would further in turn that will be having some negative impact on the ecosystems as well. So we're talking about yield increase, about 40% of the yield which increased. So a possible way out of its concurrendum here is, yes, we can introduce one gene, okay, that is transcriptional regulator gene. So this gene which boosts the grain yields and also shortens the duration of the rice. So let me know what is the duration of the rice. So how many months after sowing of this or transplantation of this rice we will be getting this produce. Okay, when we are going to harvest this, so how much time it will be taken. So whenever we are incorporating this transcriptional regulator gene, that will lead to increasing of grain yields, and even that will also have some impact on the duration of the rice. Okay, and the report which points out that giving a Chinese rice variety a second copy, and one of its own gene has been boosted its yield by up. Okay, so here whenever Chinese they came with this trans genes, okay, trans genes in this rice, so that led to increasing of productivity by 40%. And they also came up with the second copy of single genes, that is OSDREBIC, so which also added to the rice. So whenever this added to the rice, that led to increasing of or improving of photosynthesis and nitrogen use, and it also speeds up flowering and absorbing the nitrogen more efficiently. And the change which helps the plant to absorb more fertilizer, boost photosynthesis, and also accelerates the flowering, etc. So in this way we will be having more advantages when we are having this gene modulation. So if you are talking about some facts here, if you are talking about especially exports of rice, so India is one of the world's largest exporter of rice, and it exported about 18.75 million metric tons over 150 countries during this 2021 to 2022. And will also help to earn our foreign exchange reserves, but that is like $6.11 billion. And if you are talking about second one, that is Vietnam turns to be the second most largest producer of rice. Okay, so we are seeing that the first largest producer of rice here is India, and it is the largest producer and also largest exporter of rice in the world. And the second one here is Vietnam. It is also the second most largest producer of rice, and it mainly produces about 6.5 million tons in 2021 to 2022. So these are some important details that you need to know regarding this topic. So now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding moon origin. So this article is talking about giant impact theory. That's it. So we need to understand what is this giant impact theory. So now let us try to understand this topic. So this topic is important from your science and technology, and also even from your geography point of view. Okay, so here why it is in news. So recent study which done by researchers at this ETH Zurich, they discovered that, so first they came with the first proof that moon inherited indigenous noble gases that are present in the earth mantle. So what are the gases that are present in the earth mantle? So that are also presented on this moon. So here we can say that moon which has originated from the earth itself. So this moon is nothing but some parts of our earth. So if you see some details, it mainly says that the moon inherited the indigenous noble gases, for example helium and as well as neon, from this earth mantle. So this is the thing which mainly is said by this study published in this Science Advances. So the discovery which adds that already strong constraints are present, and they are favoring this giant impact theory which is focusing on the formation of our moon, right? So the researchers, they analyzed 6 samples of this lunar meteorites, and they found that so they are having the gas which is similar to that of this earth mantle. And meteorites, they are mainly remained covered by as additional basalt layer after their formation, when protected the rock from this cosmic rays and as well as solar winds. So here what happens, so this article says that yes, this moon which mainly formed from the earth according to this giant impact theory, and what are the gases that are present in the moon? They are same as compared to that of the gases which are present in this earth's mantle. So this is one celestial object that is called as Theia that came and that hit this earth, so that is called as impact. So after once this Theia come and hit this earth surface, that will lead to the debris came outside and they started revolving around the earth, and after when they come together and they form our natural satellite, that is moon. So this is about this giant impact theory. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding feeling tired. So this article is talking about science and technology, and this is important from your GS paper 3. So this article which is talking about glutamate rule. So whenever you are toiling, okay, that means very hard at the computer, that could be a physiological response to mentally demanding work. Okay, mentally demanding work. So what happened if you work continuously before this computer? Yes, you will be having some negative impact. So people who spent more than 6 hours of working on a mentally taxing assignments, and they will be having higher levels of glutamate. Okay, so whenever they are having higher levels of glutamates, that can disrupt our brain function. And next topic is regarding mode of spread. So here if you are talking about this mode of spread, which article is talking about monkeypox virus. So as monkeypox cases are increasing globally, so recent studies which says that whenever there is a repeated skin to skin contact is maintained, that is one of the important method of transmission of this monkey virus from one person to another person. So if you see some details, so since early May here, the infection has spread mostly in the men who have sex with men. So whenever the men, they are having the sex with the men, here the infection which had been spread mostly. And apart from that, so one study which reported that the skin lysine samples, they contain more viral DNA than compared to that of throat. So whenever you are having the blisters on this monkeypox, yes, you can see the blisters. So in that blisters, so what happens? So there is a high concentration of this virus than compared to that of your throat. So because of this, as that skin to skin contact, that will leads to the transmission of this monkeypox virus. And if you see this infographic on the screen, you can see what is monkeypox virus and what are the symptoms of this monkeypox. So already I discussed number of times. So here, actually this monkeypox virus is endemic in the parts of Central and as well as Western Africa. And it is very much similar to that of this smallpox. And here the symptoms includes a fever, headaches, muscle aches, body pains, low energy, and as well as swollen lymph nodes, etc. So these were some important symptoms. Okay, so how it does spread? So it mainly spreads through the skin to skin contact and as sexual contact as well. So now let us try to see the next topic. It is regarding cutting emissions. So this article is important from your environment and ecology, which comes under your GS paper 3. So why it is in news? So if you are using, that is every person in the world, they are cycling at least 2.6 kilometers per day. Okay, whenever we are cycling 2.6 kilometers per day, and in this way here we can reduce 686 million tons of carbon emissions per year. So because of this, so here we need to use the cycles. And next one here is, if you see some details, it mainly says that the findings, they are based on global assessment of bicycle production. Okay, that is mainly from this 1962 to 2015. So now let's try to see some mains practice questions. I came up with 2 mains practice questions. The first one is partition of Bengal. So why I came up with this partition of Bengal? Because in West Bengal government decided to erect one statue of Maharaja before this Curzon gate. So here you have to know about some facts regarding this Curzon. So the partition of Bengal was the culmination of a systemic attack on nationalists of Bengal by Curzon, and it was not done for this administrative convenience as stated officially by the government analyse. And next question here is, discuss the prospects of the ports in India. So you have to draw the map and you have to show the different ports which are present in the western coast as well as eastern coast, and you should also make a note on what are the issues and as well as challenges you are facing by this Indian ports, and you have to examine those. So these are 2 main practice questions, so try to answer these questions for sure. And prelims practice questions, so the first one here is partition of Bengal made by this Lord Curzon in 1905 lasted until 1905 to 1911. So it is when this King George V abrogated this Curzon Acts and Royal Darbar in Delhi in 1911. So till then this partition of this Bengal, okay, which mainly happened. And next question, it is regarding this yesterday's article, that is regarding UNCLOS. So a coastal state which has the right to establish the breadth of its territorial sea up to a limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles, which mainly measured from the baseline. Yes, And this one here is exclusive economic zone, means beyond this 200 nautical miles, that mainly comes under, that is till this 200 nautical miles, so it is called as exclusive economic zone, and beyond this 200 nautical miles, that will come under this high sea region. So correct option is C, both 1 and 2. And the vocabulary here is fragile means easily broken. Fragile ecosystem means easily broken or easily damaged. And fatigue means cause or feel exhausted. Toiling means work extremely hard. Okay, so this is about this vocabulary. And now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So before that, I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod's IS, we came up with prelims test series. Okay, in this test series, we are providing 30 tests, which includes both your GS and as well as CSAT. So this in this prelims test series, we are providing current affairs related questions also. Every test will have more than 25 questions of recent current affairs, and we are covering last 1.5 years current affairs. And we are not compromising on the quality of the questions. The quality of the questions are as per the standards of UPSC. Okay, so try to join this course. If you have any queries, so please call me on this number 8074 765513. And we also launched the foundational course for your UPSC CSE 2023 and 2024 with the validity of 2 years. And if you want to clear this UPSC and if you want to see your name in the finalist, so conceptual clarity is very important. That we are providing in this Rathod Science Academy. Okay, try to join this course. So this will be absolutely beneficial. And if you don't want to pay the money in the single amount, single way, okay, single payment, so we are also offering some installments also. So try to use this opportunity, and the cost of this course for 2 years is just 49,000 rupees. Okay, so now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's PDF, and the date here is August 21, and this is Delhi edition. So first article is regarding 21 people, they were killed in this Himachal rain havoc. So I discussed this topic. And if you move forward here, you can see Mumbai alert over the text from this Pak phone. So this is a one important article. So this article says that actually we said that AK-47 rifles that we are going to indigenously made in India, right? So here at press conference here, police commissioner, they said that messages came from the number that carried the country code of Pakistan, and this message which mainly threatened that 26/11 like attack would be carried out in Mumbai and that the city would be blown up. Okay, there was a mention of 26/11 attack terrorist, that is Azmal Kasab. So it is one of the cause of concern. So if you are getting this type of threat, means it will be having some impact, negative impact on our security of the country itself. And regarding this warning labels, I discussed this topic. And next topic it is regarding biggest fake passport visa racket busted. So here you have to know about the ethics of doing this kind of works. And if you see this page number 3, there is nothing much important. And in this page number 6, you can see Himachal Pradesh, which is prone to natural disasters. I discussed this topic. And India understands our situation, says Sri Lanka. So amid the concerns over the visit by this Chinese ship, that is Yon Wong 5 to this Hambantota port in this Sri Lanka. So here what happened is one of the major cause of concern, right? But India understands the situation of this Sri Lanka. And if you move forward in this page number 7, there is nothing much important. And in this page number 8, you can see one article that is Model Nikhanama remains a work in the progress. So this article is mainly talking about this instant triple talaq. And if you move forward here, you can see this Ukraine war increased interest in this Russian weapons. So this topic also important. And in this world page here, you can see United Nations to decide on travel curbs on this Talibans. And if you move on to the science and technology, I discussed about this feeling tired article. I discussed about this mode of suspension. I discussed about this cutting emissions. There is an article regarding this Corbevax. So already I discussed about some facts regarding the Corbevax. So those are the things which are given directly in this article. And if you move forward here, you can see improving of rice yield with an additional gene. Okay, so already we discussed about that. And this one here is moon's origin. I already discussed about this topic also. And this FAQ page, you can see India's policy on Rohingyas. And even you can see how will FIFA's decision will affect this Indian football. And we have to wait and watch till the ban will be removed or not. Okay, so these are some important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and if you really like this video, so please hit the like button, and if you have any suggestions, so please leave your suggestions in the comment box. So we'll try to incorporate your suggestions for sure in the coming videos. And if you're new to this Rathod IAS Academy, so try to subscribe to this academy and hit the bell icon so that you will be getting regular notifications. And by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much and have a nice day.